you really think I'd just sit here and watch?
We've just put my car on the dyno after the mods as well. Check that video out. And check out this G-Wagon. This is utterly insane. Brabus body kit.
All right, welcome back to EP/Driver88 Build Breakdown. Yeah, this has been a bit of a long time coming, I guess. We briefly talked about it when we did the workshop intro. So this is probably the most iconic build we've done. Definitely no holding back. It was just all out. So the owner of this car, Barry, we met back when, I think it was like COVID. So long-time customer, now long-time friend. This car actually came to us with a spun crank hub. So the S55 engines have like, you know, the weak link on these is the crank hub. Effectively, it's a two-piece design where if the bolt comes loose or the sprocket that is running the timing chain slips, that's it, game over. Unfortunately, that happened to this customer. He was unaware that that would happen at a high power level. It was tuned at a different shop. And yeah, basically reached out to us and said, you know what, since we're going in for a bit of a repair, let's do a proper repair and go all out. So yeah, if you want to come in closer and we can kind of talk about what's in this car. So this is a fully built engine. Obviously, when people say built engine, they're talking pistons, rods, but this is the next step. So sleeved, firing, CNC head, cams, titanium valve springs, you know, the whole shebang. So a lot of R&D went into this as well. Obviously, selecting the right components initially, because the plan was always to go to 1,000 horsepower. Yeah. No one had done it in Australia yet, and we were like, let's do it. Sure. Let's do it. There's a lot of other trick parts on this as well that we kind of designed and, you know, effectively used other technologies and ideas from different platforms and then brought it over onto the Euro scene. One of those things being the interchiller kits. So effectively what we do with the interchiller is we're piggybacking off your aircon unit. So a lot of modern day Euros now are water to air cooled. You know, like the Mercedes, Beamers pretty much adopted that and went forward with it. Some of the bigger engine Audis, yada, yada, yada. So effectively what we thought was, well, we've seen it in the V8 supercar, not V8 supercar, sorry, the V8 supercharged scene. So, you know, like the Hellcats and all that type of thing. So we're like, all right, well, if they're using a supercharger, water to air, cooler integrated into it, we can do the same thing with the turbocharged water to air. So yeah, and then if you come in nice and close, you'll see we just had it running up for 5 minutes, if that. Yeah. And you'll see that's not water. That's ice. That's ice. So very cold to the touch. Yeah. On intake temps, traditionally with turbocharged cars, we're seeing, on say a 20-degree day, your intake temps go to around 30, 35, 40. When it goes past that, you start feeling that heat soak. Yeah. A lot of people would experience that when they're driving, give it a few big hits, next thing you know, you feel the power pull back. With this, the more he drives it, the colder it gets. So if it's gonna freeze, we're effectively reaching sub-zero temps, which is insane for a turbocharged car. Turbocharged cars, they love that. They just, colder it is, the better. Sure. So effectively on his high boost map, he's cracking 1,000 horsepower with the interchiller on. and he's making about 1,200 newton meters of torque at the hubs.
And what boost is that?
That's about 35, 36 PSI, which is effectively, we've ran out of turbo. The engine's capable of more, but the turbo's like, that's it.
So what turbo is it?
These are the Pure 1000s. They were actually the prototypes for this a couple of years ago now. So, you know, Barry's loving it. We dubbed this car, even though it says King M3, we dubbed it the sledgehammer. Effectively, when it comes on boost, it just hits the back of your head and see you later. Yeah, so we'll see how we go. We've been, you know, meaning to go to the drags and really try and get the Australian S55 record. Every time we go, we break something. You know, this thing just wants to destroy diffs, drive shafts, you know, all that type of stuff. So we think we've got it all ironed out now. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we're going to lay down some crazy times.
Yeah. So what pistons and rods?
The piston and rod cover, I'm going to kind of keep close to my chest. But yeah, it's like, it's all oversized. It's a lot of the stuff you can get off the shelf from certain suppliers, but a lot of the stuff that went into this was very custom, purely for the fact that we wanted to hit a target to see where the turbos would take us. And then if the customer wants to go further, there's more headroom there, which would be single. Fueling, yes, fueling can definitely elaborate on that. So with the S55, we do a EU5 injector conversion. Those injectors actually come from the M5.
Okay.
So traditionally they come with the EU6, which doesn't, like if I was to give you a CC rating, that would be like 750 cc. Similar to like what we did on the single turbo one I took you for a spin in. These effectively go to like 1100. On top of that, we have port injection as well. So each cylinder on this car has about 2,500 cc's of fuel. So yeah, this goes through a tank in like 300 Ks, if that.
And what about sort of exhaust?
Yep, so traditional downpipes, full exhaust system and performance on this one. The rest of the fueling side of this is basically 2 additional drop-in fuel pumps in the tank. And then we went to a -6 fuel line, so 3 times the size of a traditional fuel line. That feeds all the way to a high-pressure fuel pump that's upgraded as well. And that pretty much gives us enough, there's enough fueling in this setup to run 1,300-ish horsepower. So it's, again, a little bit extra headroom. On the suspension side of things, because this is more of a street car / drag racing car, it's just KW adjustable springs. On the back, there is a lot of extra performance parts. We've got our dual diff brace to keep the diff in place because it just wants to keep twisting. SPL control arms, a few other little changes just to effectively allow the customer to go wide open throttle in any gear. And if he is to lose traction, it just wants to pull straight. And that, so they're an 18 by 11 with a 305/40 18 Mickey Thompson. Yeah, so this is pretty much his drag setup. Yeah.
And obviously all on 85, is it?
Yep, we'll jump inside and I'll show you the other bits on that. All right. So, let me just straighten that up. I'll turn the ignition on so you can see. Number 8. All right, so this car is running BootMod 3 tuning software. On the transmission side, we're running XHP. The transmission is actually a stock transmission, but with an upgraded clutch. So these transmissions are insane. Like, you've probably heard that a lot of people are using this transmission on like 2J conversions, RB conversions to change it over to a DCT. So very robust, very strong. We've got a mechanical diff in the back, so it's not an E-diff anymore. DDS axles and a upgraded carbon shaft. So this car came with a carbon shaft, but we went to a DDS, I think they rated it to like 2,000 horsepower or something. Because it just wants to break everything. So basically the setup on this car is full flex fuel. So the customer has the option between high and low boost. So low boost is flex fuel, and then basically map 2 is our kill map, full boost, fully 85, no holding back, 1,000 horsepower. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It also has like rolling anti-lag and all those other cool little features, but yeah, it's still dailyable though. That's the thing. Like, we didn't want to make something that was just for the track, a trailer queen. Like, you know, this guy, he's on 24,000 Ks. We built the engine, I think it was like 10,000. So he's done 14,000 Ks and 90% of it's been on the street. So yeah, definitely a handful for a street car. Yeah, we'll start it up. No worries. Go for a squirt.
I'm sure low boost is enough.
That's plenty.
So how many maps? You can set as many maps as you want.
You can do more, but like, it just traditionally, like, we set it up where it's just more logical and not too, you know, complicated for people.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, you can just go low boost. Still makes, I think low boost was like just under 900 horsepower.
It's enough in a rear-wheel drive
Yeah,
car.
Exactly. You know, you don't want to go too crazy.
It's amazing the difference between the sound of this car and the last big turbo car we went in, single turbo.
Yeah, I guess the single turbo thing definitely, like, from a sound perspective, you can't beat it. It's amazing. But with this, if this was single, oh my god, it'd be out of this world.
These buckets are good.
Yeah,
They've got a bit of side bolstering.
Yeah, the stock M seats aren't too bad.
I'm not that M affiliated, so it's like, what's old to you is new to me.
Yeah. Well, I've got the buckets in my G. Yeah. And as much as I like sitting in it, getting in and out of it, in all honesty, I'd like, you know, first world problems, but like,
better for
it's so annoying. Like, it's
annoying
just,
for a daily.
Yeah, it's just awkward.
Yeah. You would not know that this has 1,000 horsepower, like, or even 900 horsepower right now.
Yeah. And just go pick up the kids from school.
Like, not long ago, if you wanted this much power, it was a dedicated car.
Correct.
There was
stripped, no aircon,
loud.
Yeah.
Like beyond loud.
Yeah.
This is loud, but when you want it to be.
Yeah. So at the moment, like, I've just got the valves closed.
Yep.
And
yeah, valves closed. It's not bad at all for a daily.
It's manageable. Like, it's not completely obnoxious.
No. You definitely know something's going on though. So what revs are we making, like peak?
peak power, this comes on hard at like 4.5.
Yeah, yeah.
So for a hybrid setup, that's still a nice fat power range. So
Yeah.
whereas when we went for a spin in the single turbo, it was a little bit more linear, but like it comes on a little bit sooner, but it's not really peaking to like 4 or 5. Whereas this is just like, it's on.
Yeah, I can feel it.
But you're just always fighting for grip.
Of
It's
course.
just until the tyres are super sticky or it's a nice sunny day, he pretty much just parks this up and just waits for the sun to come out.
Understandable.
Exactly.
Understandable.
Yeah, it's just
different than the G80s.
Yeah. And this is even like,
This is an angry car.
yeah, it's just angry. There's torque reduction and everything.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah, I just felt it. Right. That's a genuine reaction, by the way. That's not a fake YouTube reaction. And I've been in a lot of fast cars.
Yeah.
There's just that last pull there. I'm like, oh yeah, that's it. That's definitely more than 8, 9.
It's like, and even myself, like you know, I drive a lot of cars every day. I'm tuning a lot of cars every day. There's only a couple cars that scare me a little bit, and this definitely has that ability. It see, even then, like rolling on is still confidence inspiring in a sense, like the way we've set it up.
It's not massively delayed.
Correct.
So you're like, oh, there's more boost than I wanted.
Exactly,
Then,
but it's more along the lines of you just got to manage that power with your foot as well.
Yeah.
Because even then, like, you know, clicking third and it just wants to
Oh yeah.
let go. It's
Jesus Christ. I haven't felt a car that fast for some time. That is definitely quick.
It's moving. Yeah.
This is a super nice RX-7, by the way. Here, I'll see if I can film it. Shit.
It's just, this is raw. Like,
Yeah.
there's no, you know, it has this standard features, you know, traction control and all that stuff, but at this level you can't use it.
No, of course not.
The ECU just, it trips out. Like it just starts cutting and jumping.
Yeah.
It's either traction on or traction off.
Yeah.
There's no, and yeah,
I think roll racing this car would be just really
it's
good for
wild.
that.
And it's because it's still light. You know, when the tires are warm, this thing just wants to pull. So very fun to drive, but you got to respect the power. It's not for the light-hearted.
No, not at all.
So low boost, and I've even got like the interchill. I've set it up. I know you can feel the aircon now.
Yeah, I can.
But so yeah, it doesn't delete anything from a factory perspective.
Cold aircon, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cold.
Yet I'm piggybacking off it. So some people will say, oh, once you do an interchiller, you lose your aircon. You don't.
Yeah.
Because what I've done is I put it on a partial switch. So on the switch just down the side here, I can make it so it's interchiller and cabin. And then if I hit that switch now, the cabin aircon will turn off, and now it's just see, now it's warm.
Yeah.
That's full interchiller. So I can actually regulate the intake temps depending on what the scenario is. So if he goes drag racing in winter, he'll just leave it in partial, because you don't need need to go below -5 degrees. If anything, it just gets a bit too complicated. So the goal was always, when he's on it, we're getting like 0 or like 5 degrees, 10 degrees max, which is like ideal. Going sub-zero looks cool from the interchiller, you know, intercooler freezing up, but it's not really purposeful in a sense.
Yeah. Makes sense.